You're listening to 101 with Tommie Zam. On the 63rd episode, we sit down with Maggie Rockin, owner of I6nite Non-Profit, talking about skateboarding and life. Let's do this. Hey, Maggie, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Tommy. How are you doing?
Good. Hey, at least we got a sunny day in San Diego, huh?
Yes, it's going to be sunny for the next week or so, so I'm looking forward to that.
That's what they say. Every time I look at my weather thing, it always says rain. I know all last week it said rain every single day, and I'm just like looking outside. I'm like, there's no rain. It's blue skies out there. This app is wrong.
Right? I think they were talking about T-storms or something like that.
Something. I mean, I noticed there was rain down by Mexico, so maybe the app was confused that San Diego and Mexico is like the same city or something. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, we could basically be the same. San Diego can be like a mini Mexico,
Right. Correct.
But all right, cool. So some of the listeners know who you are, and some don't. Just do like a small bio about yourself, just to let people a little bit know about yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Maggie. I was born and raised here in Chula Vista, actually, in San Diego County. I'm the first generation from my family. My mom is from Mexico and my dad
sick.
as well. And my dad, he came to the United States and became a U.S. citizen and went to the Vietnam War.
Oh.
So I grew up in you can call it like a military type family.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he was a tough man. And I'm the oldest out of 5 siblings.
Oh, wow.
And being the oldest, even though I was a woman, he treated me like a boy, you can say. And he trained me and to love sports. So I'm into like all kinds of sports. And then he also was very close to me growing up. Me and him bonded more than my mom and me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. I mean, parents are very important to have in your life.
Yes, they are.
And go ahead.
I also I went here to Castle Park High School, and the last year I transferred to Hilltop High School, where I graduated from. And should I say the year?
Oh no, that was like what, yesterday, right? That was like 2023.
So a lot of people know me here in Chula Vista, San Diego County. I consider myself a community liaison since I was in high school. I have a lot of people that know me, and it's a really nice experience walking down Chula Vista and a lot of people recognizing you and saying, "Hello, Maggie." So that's a plus, and it's a blessing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then moving on, I started my nonprofit because my half brother, he's the youngest out of the 5, and he grew up in Rosarito, Mexico. And he's the one that skateboarded from a young age.
Mm-hmm.
So me growing up, I never had the support, not even from my father, about sports. So even if I wanted to be in volleyball or anything, my parents were not like sports people. They wanted you to go to school and that's it. Mm-hmm. So I experienced that and I didn't like it. So when my half brother was skateboarding and nobody supported him, that's when I was like, no, I'm going to support you. I'm your older sister and I really like what you do. And I started taking him to the skate parks. And that's when I noticed that he had the talent. He just loved it, was very passionate. And I started taking him to events down in Mexico, and he started winning. And he actually, about 8 years ago, he did qualify for the Olympics, for Mexico Olympics, for the first Olympics. But my father got cancer, and he passed away last year. So that kind of threw us off over the years, and we concentrated what was important to us at the time. It was taking care of our father.
Yeah. No, I know, definitely understand that. I mean, it's tough, definitely tough. Well, but definitely, being a first generation in San Diego, I mean, that's pretty awesome. So you've seen San Diego grow up to be something to, or grow up to be something, what it is now? I mean, what was that experience like?
Actually, when I was in junior high, Castle Park Middle, and in Chula Vista in San Diego County, at that moment, there was actually a lot of gang activity.
Mm.
It was really bad. We didn't even have lockers in our junior high and high school because violence was everywhere. So I got to experience that, and it was something normal for me growing up with gangs around me. But eventually it died down. San Diego PD, Chula Vista PD, National City, they all took a stand on it, and they got on it. And by the time I was a senior in high school, you didn't really see gangs as much. But that was a cultural experience, like a shock, you can say. And put that aside, of course, my parents being from Mexico, they have their own culture.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up here with gangs and a totally different culture, that we did bump heads a lot because my mom did not understand. And I'd never understood my culture or my Mexican heritage until I was older. So there was a lot of misunderstandings
Mm-hmm.
growing up.
And I remember, oh, I don't remember, but when I moved out here, 95, 96, I remember the gangs, even up north, like Oside and down south and stuff like that, was very heavy and stuff. So I
Yes.
mean, they always, always told like you got to be careful where you go skate at and where you're at, and make sure you have a lot of people. And I mean, we never, Oceanside, nobody barely went up there because it was either gangs or Marines, and that's
Right.
basically it up there. Now that got cleaned up, and it's actually really nice. And they still had little pockets here and there, but I mean, it's not as bad as what it used to be. You know,
Right. Yes.
and I remember down National City, Chula Vista, El Cajon, all down there was really bad.
Yes, it was.
And how did you keep yourself focused in life from that?
It was. It was. At the time you don't really think about it. I just had to belong, and I had to belong to my friends, quote quote, and we all protected each other, and we went to school. And the funny thing is that when the state test would come around every semester, and I would do the state test, I would ace like 100% on everything. And that's when my counselor would be like, okay, you're affiliated with gangs or whatever, you're hanging around with them, but I see that all your test scores are 100%, like you're very smart. That's why we decided to move me schools. Maybe Hilltop was a little bit less gang related.
Yeah.
And when I went over there, yeah, it's true, the gangs were put aside. That school was very organized already ahead of Castle Park. I'm not trying to talk bad about the district. It's the same district, but
Yeah.
it's just Hilltop was just more focusing on education, on academics, and they already had some kind of structure set up. So when I got over there, my counselor's like, okay, I'm going to put you in calculus. I'm going to put you in chemistry.
You're like, what the world?
And believe it or not, I aced it. So yeah, it was, yeah. I mean, I proved to myself that, that I was very intelligent and smart, and I had a future ahead of me. Just put aside my friends. So it is true. My grandma would say, tell me who you hang around with, I'll tell you what kind of person you are. And it's true. It's true. Even now I see it more clearly. The people that surround you is pretty much who you become. So you need to surround with yourself with positive people, and they'll feed you feed from each other, kind of thing, from the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And also in that group, you find your mentors and people that already been there, done that, and can help you jump over obstacles that already been done. They already cleared the path, and they teach you what not to do, and focus on what's important in your goals.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true. I mean, definitely you gotta have, like, you gotta keep that nonsense out of you, and keep the positive in your life, and that's what's gonna make you successful and in the world. Not just saying money wise, but just as a person, mentally healthy, and
Yes.
all that stuff. That's what's to me what successful is not just about people think success is about making money and being rich and being well known. It's like it's really not about that at all.
Right, right. And that's how I also started connecting when I started helping my brother with skateboarding. That's when I started connecting skateboarding with life.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed how life has been tough and how he would fall, but he would get up and do it again and land it. And we wouldn't concentrate on all the 40 falls previous. Like we would concentrate when he would land the 360, the 180. That's when we would celebrate, and everything before that was forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I started adapting that to my life and to our lives, because everything you do in the past, you fail and you fall, and things don't work out the way you want them to. But when you meet your goal, or get that interview, or get that organization and that credential, that's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really look back of everything. You just look back to see how far you've came and how successful you are now, versus how you were 3-4 years ago.
No, you're 100% right. I mean, with skateboarding is what you just said. I mean, we learn to. It's a mental thing. Basically, what it is. It's where we learn how to fall and
Yes.
and get back up and keep on trying it until we actually land that trick.
Yes.
And that's what people don't understand is what teaches a lot of. That's why a lot of skateboarders who in this world who do have skateboarded for a long time or pros or whatever they do, they have learned. They've been so successful in life because they learned so much from skateboarding. That
Yes.
made them who they are. It's just not. It's not like playing football or baseball or basketball. It's surfing and skateboarding and snowboarding. It's a whole different thing than all those sports. And that's why a lot of people don't agree that skateboarding is a sport because it's not really a team thing. It's a family basically.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
You
But now
know.
it's in the Olympics.
Yeah, it's in the Olympics. It's a little different. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
little bit different. But I mean, to my opinion, I mean, it's cool that skateboarding's in the Olympics. It's cool that a lot of these, you know, like X Games, SOS, all this stuff is going on. But that's a whole different, I don't want to say breed of skaters, but different types of skaters who are more focused on that, And
Mm-hmm.
then there's also the skaters like who are like me, who are like more, I'm just skateboarding, I'm just doing my thing. You know what I mean? It's about me hanging out with the homies, me about skateboarding, not about this contest stuff.
Right. Right. Right.
But it's a good thing. It's a good and bad thing. It does get skateboarding more out there, but also too the bad thing is that it kind of brings the corruption into skateboarding too.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
You
Yeah.
know.
I've talked over the years with many kids, youth, even adults that skateboard, women and men,
Mm-hmm.
and they one of the things they really like skateboarding is because you can go out there and skate by yourself, like you said, or you can go out there and skate with your friends, or
Mm-hmm.
even if you don't know anybody, you support. I've seen that. Even if we didn't know anybody, we get to a skate park and everybody cheers everybody on, you know, and if you fall, they're there to help you, and it's just even if you don't know anybody, it's like a family, a community,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that I really love about it. And that's why I started my nonprofit, because I wanted to be more involved with the children and youth and everybody.
No, definitely it is. It's definitely it's a family thing. It's we always they always say that we always look after our kind, ourselves, our skateboard brothers and sisters.
Hmm.
So I mean, this definitely is, but it's just sad that like a lot of corporate came in and kind of corrupted it a little bit, and now it's kind of shifted it one way, and then there's the other way, who's trying to keep it as is. I mean, maybe that's how other sports are. I mean, I never played sports. I mean, I played basketball, but I played street ball in
Hmm.
my neighborhood. I played, street football, in the neighborhood, but I never been on a football team or a basketball team or any of that, so I don't know what's that like. But I just know that like it's not what skateboarding is, and
Right.
that's true too. What you said. I mean, you can be a skateboard. You know, if you skateboard, you can go out in the street, out in the parking lot, or whatever, and just skate by yourself and have the best time in life. Or, you know, if you go into a city or a country or something, you don't know anybody, but you're a skater. You skate down the street, or you go to a skate shop. You'll meet other skaters who will show you around and hang out with you. You know,
Right.
It's definitely really cool. I mean, that's why I love skateboarding and doing it for 30 plus years.
Yeah. And then, oh my God, the faces of the kids when they feel that your support, or I get there, like my organization, when I go down to Mexico or any skate park here in San Diego, and they see that we're supporting them, or we, you know, it's like their faces light up, and I love it. It's priceless. I even if I'm having a horrible day, seeing these kids, you know, skateboard and land tricks, it's just, oh my God, it fills me up.
No, it
It really
definitely
is.
does. Definitely does. And let's go back a little bit. You said your mom was like teaching you more about Mexican culture. What is Mexican culture?
Okay, well, it was a teacher in Mexico
Okay.
all her life. So she taught me Spanish and English 100%. Because I mean, she didn't teach me the English. I learned it here, but she taught me all the Spanish. And then she was very, very religious. So she taught me the Catholic religion. And that's, it was, I don't know, when living here in San Diego, and then her having those ideas with my grandma, because I lived in the same household with my mom's mom and her.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandma was born in 1910. So those were old ways, old religious, old cultures, and very strict. And here in San Diego, it's not that strict. You know, it's like, oh, I have a freedom of speech, and I can do this, I can do that. And that's one of the culture shocks that we bumped heads. But over the years, I learned about my religion, about my heritage, and it's beautiful. I mean, that's why I go back down to Mexico, and I learned all this history, and the culture and the music and the food and everything, and I'm very proud of where my ancestors came from. And my great grandfather actually was 100% Mayan. So he was native of
Oh wow.
Yucatan Peninsula, and so I even carry that blood with me. So I'm very proud. I'm very proud now. But when you're young, you don't see it like that. You just want to do it your way, kind of thing.
No, it's true. I mean, when you're young, you're just like, whatever, mom and dad, whatever, grandma,
Right.
grandpa, whatever. I'm doing my thing. I'm gonna go out and do my stuff. And then when you get older, you're like, wow, okay, I gotta keep my family's legend going. You know?
Yes, yes. And I've learned so much, and I love to learn. I love the history, and yeah, it's been an awesome road, learning more. And then the more my grandma passed away about 20 years ago, but my mom still tries to keep us, you know, united during Christmas, you know, doing piñatas, and, you know, following traditions. And so it's very nice to teach the younger generation in our family that.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, that's what's great about your culture and is that it's all about family, and that's awesome. You know, because I think a lot of cultures in America kind of forget about family. You know, they don't do
Yeah.
family things together, and it's awesome because when I go to like parks and stuff like that, I see a lot of Mexican families together as a family, and then I have a lot of respect for that because I mean it's about family. You know, you got to have your family with you no matter what.
Yeah, even if they're crazy and
Yeah,
you don't get along with everybody, but we make it work.
it was like, oh, is Aunt Jamina gonna be there? Oh gosh, I'm not gonna be there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bite my tongue. Oh, here comes Uncle George. There we go.
yeah,
Uncle George. But hey, we're gonna have fun and laugh because after we leave, we're gonna say, hey, you know what? That was a great time.
yes, yes, it's true. Even though, yeah, we might not like everybody, but you know what? That's how the world is. We're not gonna always like everybody, but we learn to respect each other.
Yeah, we're humans, you know.
Yeah,
That's what my saying has been lately. Is like when people like get down on themselves or say this and that. I'm just like I look at them, I was like, you know what? We're humans. There's nothing you can do about it,
Yeah, nobody's perfect.
No, no, we're just humans. We make
Yeah.
mistakes. We do dumb things, and but that's cool that like your school that you went to um realized how smart you are and knew where you need to be in life and try to get you away from the gangs and stuff like that, and that's pretty rad that happened to you. So do you ever think about if you never took that step to that door that way, or if you stay in that door, where would you be?
You know what? The truth, I'd never actually admitted this. This is my first time. But I always knew that I did not belong. And I'm not hating on my friends from junior high school. I love you all. I still talk to them all. But I just felt like it wasn't me. Like I was born to do something great. And I saw a lot of violence, a lot of bad things. And I said, no, this is not for me. I know I was born to do more. And when I got that opportunity to move schools, that's when I felt like I fit in. And I started going to my calculus classes and chemistry and all these bigger classes. And I'm like, okay, all right, this is where I'm going. And it's funny because growing up, I did not like school. But I feel like I wasn't being challenged. I feel like I was just just life was happening at home and at school, and peer pressure and all that. And I wasn't able to really focus until I moved schools. That's when I really was like, wow, this is what I want to do. I want to learn. I want to travel. I want to learn more languages. And in high school, and I did take some Chinese, French, and I knew Spanish and English. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I really dedicated all my time to studying and graduating with my class.
Dude, that's right. I mean, my Spanish and Chinese is pretty bad, but I didn't go to classes in that high school. They were like, oh, you want to, you got to do some, foreign language. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'll learn on the streets.
Yeah. So yeah, after high school though, I did end up in college.
Okay.
But I did marry. I was just
Yes.
trying to get out of my house. I have to admit, everybody knows this. It's not a secret. I had 3 beautiful daughters.
Okay.
And I did end up getting a divorce, but it's okay.
It's life.
Yes. And my daughter, my oldest, Carla, she's a teacher.
Okay.
She finished her bachelor's degree in science, and now she's doing her master's. And then Lisa, the middle one, she's a doctor's assistant, but she's working at a hospice company here in San Diego.
Okay.
And then my youngest, Nayeli, she studied phlebotomy. So
Okay.
they're all into the sciences.
So they get the brains from you, right?
Yeah, I hope. They got the good genes.
they had the smartness from you, right? No, that's right. And they do it. Do they all live here in San Diego, or they live other places, or what?
Currently, they all live here, still in San Diego County.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
So they see what you're doing, and they 100% support what you're doing.
Yeah, they thought I was crazy. Well, a lot of people think that I'm crazy doing things, but crazy.
Really?
People.
Why is that?
Because I'm just because I started to, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do an organization, and at first it's like, it's not that they didn't believe in me, but a lot of people talk in our family, and not to talk bad about my family, but a lot of people talk and they don't finish what they started. Mm-hmm. So I believe that that's where it's not that they were judging me. It's like, okay, Mom, you're gonna start this, but now they see what I've become and where I'm at, and they're like, wow, they really do now, ask me and support and help, volunteer with their time. So, the more, and I think that's overall in life. And I met a lot of people don't support you because of your ideas, or because you have some crazy idea, whatever that you want to be, like a skateboarder, like my brother. nobody supported him.
Yeah.
But he found, my support, and he is not because he's my brother, but he's really, really good. And I hope that soon, more people recognize him and his talents. And even if he doesn't get to be, known worldwide, but at least he's satisfied with people to, that see his talent. And at one point, everybody thought he was crazy because, it's like, you're not going to be successful in skateboarding. Skateboarding is not a sport kind of thing. So that's how I connected my organization, because everybody was like, okay, Maggie's going to start this. Let's see what happens,
Yeah.
But
No,
it's going good.
no,
I'm
definitely.
blessed.
And I get where your brother is coming from, because there's a lot, there's probably a lot of skaters that been where your brother's been and understand where he's coming from, because or what he has done. Because I mean, that happened to me. My grandparents used to tell me I'm never going to be anything in skateboarding, and
Right.
because I'm too tall, and skaters don't are too tall or whatever. They never supported me.
Uh-huh.
But my mom did. My mom and dad did. I think my dad did. I don't know. I think he did, but didn't. But he just wanted me to do. My parents wanted, all they care about was, hey, you know what? You can do whatever you want to do. We just care about you getting that high school diploma. Once you get out, we would love for you to go to college, but we'll always support whatever you decide to do.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So my mom always, she looked at it as like a kid thing, but then she
Uh-huh.
realized I got more and more into it, watching skate videos. She watched skate videos with me, and so she realized like there is more stuff to skateboarding, and she realized that was
Right.
my passion and love and stuff. But no, I definitely get what you're saying about people not supporting your brother, because I mean it is tough. You know what I mean? Even for nowadays, I mean, parents support kids skateboarding, but before, we never got that support from family or anybody. Even the public never supported us.
Right. Right. And that's, I guess, with all kinds of sports. I mean, the kids, when they're in high school and they're in football or soccer, I mean, they have their dream of becoming, MLS or NFL. But, we know that it's very slim.
Hmm.
But if you really, 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 put your time and effort and, everything, yeah, you can get there.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. It's not easy, but you will get there. And that's how, once again, that's how I see myself. It's been a long road and tough and a lot of sacrifices. I had to cut a lot of people out of my life, and my time has been very limited, but to spend time with other people. But I'm getting where I need to be, and
Hmm.
that's how it is with sports or just life itself.
No, definitely, definitely, and that's what's crazy when you're talking about NFL and all that, because you have that support. You have that coach. You have your parents who want you to be a football player, but when you're telling, hey, I want to be a skateboarder, they're like, ah, dude, you're never going to be anything out of life.
Right.
But I mean, there's kids that, and even adults, who never became anything in skateboarding, or never came pro, or they might have rode for a small company, and maybe they got in the small local magazines, but they still skateboard, even though they're like 45, 50, or whatever, 60, they're
Right.
still skateboarding, but because they love it.
Yes, yes.
No, it's definitely really good. um so let's talk about your organization. So you said we know how you started for your brother, but I mean, how did you get everything started? Like, take us to step by step how it works if you start.
Okay. So for many years, for about 10 years now, going down to Mexico and, supporting my brother. And when you're there at the skate park, there's all these kids, girls and boys. And me, since I lived in San Diego, I would take things. I would always buy them pizza. And then, I would always support them in their education. I would buy backpacks, things like that. And on my own self growth, I ended up going to LA for this event, and that I saw online, and I'm like, oh, this looks cool. It's not that expensive. I want to go, because I was searching I knew that I was meant to be more. You see, even since high school, I knew that I was meant to do more in life. And about 3-4 years ago, I was at that crossroad where I'm like, okay, Maggie, where, what do you want to do? What's your purpose? And that's when I ended up in LA at this event. And that's where they talked about, I met Ed Mellett, Tim Grover, Dan Fleischman, all these amazing mentors. And they write amazing books about self-growth and how to focus on your goals and dreams and find your purpose. And so it really inspired me, motivated me. And I started focusing. And that's when I started cutting out people out of my life that were not helping me. And they were toxic. You have to cut people out of your life sometimes to reach the next level. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to do my nonprofit. But I had no idea of anything. So I reached out to a couple of companies and they charged like $15,000 to get you started. I'm like, I don't have that money, but nothing has ever stopped me. So I went on YouTube and Google and I started educating myself on how to open a nonprofit, what I needed. And I submitted the paperwork during COVID. And, everybody was like, they're not going to authorize it because it's COVID, because this and that. But it only took 3 months and I got federal certified. Then I went to the state and I got certified pretty quickly. And then I got cleared by the DOJ because somebody told me that I had to get cleared to get grants. So I was like, okay, well, I'm learning. So now I'm cleared on everything. And I started applying for grants. And I thought everything was going to be all peachy and everything, but no, the grants were denied because of this and that. And I can go into detail, so I'm like, okay, so what else am I going to do? So I started, asking for donations and, going other ways, talking to more people, reaching out to skate shops. And so I think that was good that I got denied the grants, because if it wasn't for that, I don't think I would have gone more out of my comfort zone to, San Diego County and reach out to more people around the world. And now more people are following us around the world. I have people, I'm talking to people from Colombia, Argentina, the Philippines, Singapore, Spain, so it was a good thing. Sometimes when bad things happen, we shouldn't focus so much on the bad. Look at what's going to happen out of that bad situation. And that's what happened to me. Yes, I didn't get my grants, but that forced me to go out of my comfort zone and reach out. And I met amazing people like yourself and Keyshawn and Sugar Bear and everybody. And I'm so blessed now. And yeah, I mean, it's just, it's been a process, been a long process. I learned everything on my own, which is a good thing too, because now I can help people that want to start their nonprofit. It's not easy. Nonprofit actually is very difficult and time consuming, a lot of paperwork involved. But thank God, I mean, I got through all those hurdles and obstacles and I got certified. I think it's easier to open a business than a nonprofit.
but also too, I mean, open a business, it's a lot harder than I don't know. I've never done a nonprofit. So, I mean, what's the difference between opening a business and a nonprofit?
The nonprofit, you just have to really be very open and transparent with everything, because, in the United States, you're tax exempt and there's a lot of laws and rules that you have to follow, because a lot of people could misuse the nonprofit to their advantage in a bad way, not so much to help the people.
Yeah.
But that's why it's a lot of paperwork. I mean, 20, 30 pages for the federal and for the state. And then you have to, have your board of trustees and directors and have meetings. And so it's a lot. And then you don't get paid for it. When you're barely starting, everything is out of your own time. Once the donations come in, yes, by law, you can pay yourself some wages or your staff. But I've been doing this for 3-4 years now legally, and I haven't gotten paid yet. but it's okay.
Yeah, but you know what? You're doing it for something different, not just from getting
right, exactly. I'm doing it for the right reason. I'm not.
You do want to get a little paycheck one day,
You know what? my mentors tell me, you follow your dreams, you find your purpose, and the money will come. Don't worry about the money. You follow your heart first.
That's
So
100% true.
so yeah, that's what I'm doing. And yes, it's true. Like I mentioned before, I go out there and I give the kids used boards. Here, I collect used boards from Slappies, Waveline 6 and 7s, Urban Skate, Chula Vista. So I've been working now more with more shops here, and then I take them down south, and the kids love it. They love it because over there in Mexico, um, I interact more with them because where my brother grew up.
Mm-hmm.
But they really appreciate a used board because you give it a second life. Over there, they don't have. It's a very low income poverty communities, and even second hand shoes and clothes. They appreciate everything,
Oh yeah,
everything.
definitely. I mean, because I
And
mean,
it,
it's we take advantage of it. We're like, oh, we don't want it anymore. We'll just throw it away.
right, right. No, over there. I mean, the wheels are harder to get. The bearings, the trucks. Those are more expensive parts, but they make it work. And yeah, and hopefully soon I'll be able to help them more, or provide backpacks, because for school I always take backpacks, and I give also school supplies,
Mm-hmm.
because I want them to be going to school also, not just skateboard. I mean, skateboarding is your sport, your pastime, your after school program, but you need to still finish your school. And I'm fortunate to have actually witnessed a couple of the kids that grew up with my brother, and I've been mentoring them for years in Tijuana. And one of them actually is graduating university, and he's going to become a sports director.
What? That's right.
So I saw him grow up, and he stayed in school, and I helped him as much as I could. And he still skateboards, and now he wants to do something with skateboarding in Tijuana. So that's nice. That's really nice to see that they're finishing their school, and also doing what they love, which is
Mm-hmm.
skateboarding. And then I
Hey,
have a little kid in Ensenada. He started skateboarding at age 6 when he saw my brother skateboard, and he saw what we were doing in Ensenada. And now he's turned 8, and his mom and dad just sent me last night his current uh, grades. And he wasn't doing too good, but now he's all straight A student because he's very motivated, and he learned how to skateboard. So now, he goes to school, gets straight A's, and then he goes after school and skateboards. So I'm very proud of him too.
that's rad. And what's your main focus for Ignite?
My focus is to bring all the communities of the world together and skateboard. That's my dream. You know,
That's
eh,
that's a
I
good dream. That's a good dream.
I see a lot. One thing I've noticed over the years, everybody has their own little group or little nonprofit here and there, or the skate park has their own little program going. And what I've been doing actually, without really, that was not really my goal at the beginning, but it started kind of like falling into place.
Mm-hmm.
Is I'm bringing all these communities together. When I go to Tijuana, all these communities come together, with Ignite, and we hang out and we have a great time. When we go to Ensenada, we go also, and all these communities come together. So, and now that we're blessed to go down to Mexico and to Guanajuato and do our first international skateboarding demo event. I'm bringing a lot of people from the United States and from Mexico, and bringing them all together for one day of fun, and just enjoying with the kids down there and in the communities. So I really like that, and that's when I want, like, okay, then what's next? Let's go to Singapore. Let's go. No, like, I want to go everywhere. Because I love it. I love it. I mean, skateboarding. Yes, it's it's not a group, like you said. It's not like you skateboard by yourself kind of thing, but it's a community. It's a family, and me bringing all these families, communities together. It's like, it's awesome. And now they see, and it's getting bigger and bigger. At first it was like 10, 12 of us coming together. Now it's like 100.
Wow.
So it's the more people that know about Ignite, they come, they just like the environment, It's family oriented. We bring donations, and we just have a really good time skateboarding, taking pictures, videos, and the parents love it because it's clean, and safe, events.
And you said you're going on this road trip with I6nite with a bunch of skaters from America and from Mexico. How do you organize something like this?
Oh my God. That was the best part. It just came all together. You see, that's when I know that it was meant to be. I just started reaching out. I started meeting more people, and it doesn't hurt to ask. I just started asking, and people started going, "Oh yeah, I want to go. I'm interested." And then I've gotten a few skateboarders. I'm not gonna name names from around the world that were like, "No, you're a liar," you know. And I'm like, okay, well, that's your opinion. I know what I'm doing, and if you don't want to participate or follow us, that's okay. You know, but it's been very few that I've had actually negative feedback from, but the rest have started following us and are involved, and they're going to be going out to Guanajuato with us. So it's just asking, and it doesn't hurt to ask. I mean,
No,
it
it
really
doesn't.
doesn't.
And you're always going to get no's. You're always going to get those ones that don't believe you or think it's a fraud or a scam or whatever. This and that.
Right.
I mean, it's sad for the people to think that, but also too, there's so many scammers out there that flood the system out there that make people think that way.
Oh no, definitely. I understand. I'm not talking bad. I'm just but
Yeah.
yeah, there was a couple of skate shops in the United States that I reached out a long time ago, and eventually now we're friends. But at the beginning, of course, they're like, "Who are you? Why are you emailing me? Why are you sending me this?" But once you prove yourself, and I'm gaining credibility, and they know who I am, and people know, you know, they're getting to know who I am and what I do. It's just building reputation, credibility,
Oh yeah.
respect, and then yeah, and it just trickle. It's a trickle effect.
Yeah, and that's what that's one thing about skateboarding is great is that we're very protective of who wants to be part of this. You know what I mean? And I
Mm-hmm.
hate saying it's a club, but we're very protective. Like, okay, because we get there's so many brands that come in. It's like, oh, I got this and this. This is a skateboard thing, and we're like, what? Well, I don't know what I don't know, So you step back a little bit and like kind of be office a little bit. But once they start seeing, you know, you or company or people start doing things for skateboarding for the community and stuff, then they'll be like, okay, they're legit because they're working with the community, the skateboard community, and trying to build it up and make it better. So
Right, right.
you
Yeah.
can't just jump in and wave a wand and say, I'm going to do this.
Right.
It,
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it
Yeah, it takes a lot of patience, and have faith, and just keep doing it. I just been focused and focused, and I don't lose focus. Um, and even though I've had a lot of obstacles, especially last year when my dad passed away, and a lot of stuff happened. And there's been times that I'm like, well, what am I doing? I don't want, not that I don't want to do this anymore. It's just a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. I am not getting paid for it, and all this stuff. But then I slap myself back. No, I don't slap myself, but I tell myself,
you're not over
hey,
here. You're not
back.
over here. Bam, bam, bam. Come on, man. Come on, wake up. You're doing it right. Slap myself again. You wake up next day, you got slap marks on your face. No, I'm joking.
No, I just like, no, Maggie, no, we're gonna keep on going. We're gonna keep focused. This is just temporary. My dad would tell me that all the time. This is just temporary. Tomorrow's a new day. Is there, what can you do right now? Nothing. Okay, then don't worry about it. We'll find a solution, but today, right now, is not the moment. So don't be so hard on yourself. My dad gave me a lot of good advice about life. So I'm very grateful to have him.
And you know what? And he's what he's what no matter what, and shining on you and smiling on you, and knows that you're doing a great job.
He was he was my number one fan. He would tell me.
Hey, our parents are always the number one fans for everything.
Yes.
No, I know what you mean. My mom passed away 2 years ago. So I mean, so my dad passed away. He was in the Army, so he passed away with Agent Orange in
Oh,
2017. Yeah,
my
so
dad too.
yeah. So he had Agent Orange, so he passed away in 2017. So my dad was gone, so it was just me, my mom, and I had two older brothers, but they weren't really in our lives that much. So it was just me, my mom. It was just me, my mom, and dad. Basically, it was all three of us. We're all three of in each other's lives. So when my dad passed away, it was my mom. So I totally get what you were saying earlier in the interview, how you had to stop everything and put your focus on, and that's what I had to do. That's what I did. I juggled my TSM and my mom, and juggled both of them, and it was the hardest thing to do. And then COVID came, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go take a break and go to Florida and hang out with my mom and help her out and this and that. And I still did the business side, but I wasn't as focused as I was. I was more focused on my mom. But I mean, she passed away in a car wreck, in her third car wreck. So,
Oh my God.
yeah. So that was like 2 years ago. So, I went, through some crazy times, from August 2nd of 2023. So 2021. So, yeah, so I mean, I went through some crazy times, and nothing violent or anything, just mentally, health and stuff like that, and everything, and dealing with what people say is, when they do say that true colors come out of family when someone dies, that's 100% true. So listener, that's 100% true. So I had to deal with a lot of that stuff. So a lot of that put a burden on me, but what kept me going is my business, and or not, I don't want to say business, but TSM, what kept me going, our live shows and stuff like that. And, me doing these personal podcasts is what kept me going and kept me focused and keep my sanity going. Cause, and I skateboarded here and there, and not as much as I wanted to, but I did as much as I could, but cause I deal with so much stuff. But I totally get what you're saying in the previous in beginning of the interview, when you said you had to juggle and stop everything. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you understand me.
Yes, oh, we do.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we just keep focused and keep going, and yeah, like my dad would tell, tomorrow's a new day, and it's true. The next day I wake up and I have a good email, good text, and I'm like, okay, let's keep going. Keep going.
And you have that. I mean, that's what's great. You know what I mean? He's in your mind. He's in your heart and your soul and everything. So he definitely he's with you.
Yes. You're right.
No, that's right. I mean, and then so you have your Mexico trip coming up, and
yes.
when is that Mexico trip?
It's August 25th through the 28th. We'll be flying down. And we're partnering with the city of León, Guanajuato. Okay. And the reason why I chose it there instead of Mexico City, because previously it was going to be Mexico City. It was just a lot of, that's where all the kids that are qualified for the Olympic skateboarding for Mexico are living at. And okay. We're going to be meeting with them and skateboarding with them. And so that's why and then they also open their arms to us. They're like, come on over. We're waiting for you. We've been waiting for you guys for a long time. So they were very friendly and very easy to organize the trip to down there. So that's why I was like, okay, let's go. I've never been to León, Guanajuato. So I was like, let's do that.
You're like, let's do this. Let's go on a trip. I need a vacation.
Beautiful, beautiful history, his city. And so I'm really looking forward to this.
Oh, definitely. I can't wait to see the footage from it.
Yes. I have a couple of volunteers going with cameras. They're also skateboarders, but they also do film and photography. Oh, so sick. They volunteered their time also to go down there and just take video and pictures for the events.
Oh, that's right. I mean, and that's going to help you out a lot because this is your first big event.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you're going to build off of this and see where the future holds with Ignite.
Yes. I'm pretty sure that once everybody sees what we do down there, I already have a couple of people from Singapore that would love us to go over there and then Spain. So, I'm looking forward to the future. I know once people get to know us more and more and what we do, they're going to really like us, going to visit and doing a little demo or an event at their country. So I'm really looking forward to the future.
That sounds fun. I mean, it sounds like you're gonna do great. And then, do you have like any? So, do you have board members and stuff like that, or is it just only you and your brother, or what?
Now, my board members is my uncle, my daughter, myself, and that's who is pretty much running.
Okay.
We're very small right now, but in the future, I will have opportunities to have more people on board. So if anybody's interested in becoming a board member in my I6nite organization, you can email me or text me, and then we can talk.
You hear that, guys? Hit Maggie up if you're interested in this. You definitely want to because it sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're growing fast, so yes, I'm gonna need more help.
Well, that's cool that you're in a way not in a way, but you're definitely keeping it in the family. So I mean, you got your uncle, your sister, brother, and everything. So it's a family thing, and that's pretty awesome.
Yes, yes, but of course, I would in the near future. I do want to have more people with new ideas, and so that's why I'm welcoming more board members soon.
And where do you see I6nite in 20 years?
Oh, in 20 years?
Or 10, we'll drop it down to 10 years.
In 10 years, for sure, all over the world, doing events everywhere, collaborating more with the Olympics of skateboarding, because there's a lot of kids in the world that are good in skateboarding and they would love to go to the Olympics, but they don't have the funds. So I would love I6nite to be that sponsor, helping them to achieve that dream for them. If they're really good, and they have the talent and they're qualifying, I would love to be that person, that organization to help them and support them, to have their parents go with them, to the Olympics and wherever it's going to be at. I know the next one is next year in France.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's something I really do see myself being more involved with the Olympics, to help and support the kids and girls and boys that don't have the funds to get there or to get the proper training. And then just keep my, helping here in my own community in San Diego and United States, and, creating more events and helping the communities like I've been doing. I also give like backpacks, when they're back to school, and I'm collaborating with my mentor, Dan Fleischman. Last year, we were able to give a bunch of toys away in December. So those are more, just follow us on Instagram, and that's where I post all the stuff that we're going to be giving away. And then I'm collaborating with a lot of nonprofits here in San Diego now with Sugar Bear and other stuff. So yes, we're getting to get more out there in the community and help more and more. So I'm looking forward to the future and to just be known, just be known. When they see I6nite, they know what we stand for.
Good. You definitely you unite. Basically, what it means, we unite each other. We unite the community. We unite everybody together to be one.
Yeah, my quote for my organization is actually spark your inner light to a brighter future, because everybody's light has somehow diminished, but it's in there, and you just have to find your passion and spark it up and focus on the future.
I like that. I like that quote.
Yes.
I like that quote. And where can people find you at? I mean, I know you just said your Instagram. Do you have like a website? Any other social medias and stuff?
Yes, I have just a small website on www.I6nite. It's spelled I6nite.org. But on my Instagram, I have all my information there. If you want to donate, all the information's on my Instagram page of I6nite. And we're also under I6nite Non-Profit. We have Facebook, Instagram, And then, well, I run my TikTok under my name, Maggie Rockin. So, but that's just TikTok. But it's mostly, if I suggest you guys follow us in Instagram or Facebook.
Okay. So you hear that, guys? Follow them. You want to donate old skateboards, wheels, trucks, shoes, whatever. Hit them up, donate it. Support these guys. They're definitely doing something right for all skate communities in Mexico, United States, all around the world and stuff. So definitely is. And what's the last question? What can you say to anybody that wants to be where you're at right now?
Find yourself a good mentor, somebody that's been there, that's already done that, and it'll make life more easier, way easier. I'm not saying it's not difficult to get from point A to point B, but it'll make life way easier when you find your mentor. So somebody that is already done that, and like me, I could be a mentor to somebody, right? I already went through all the paperwork. So if you have any questions on like nonprofits or anything, I would be able to, guide you or, mentor you to that. So find yourself, whatever you're in, sports, school, whatever it is, find yourself a mentor.
It's definitely like a very important thing to have in your life. Not, I want to say very important, but it is good to have in your life to get you where you need to be in life, focus and stuff like that. So Maggie, you're 100% right. Well, cool, Maggie. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I look forward to working with you and for the future, and look forward for this Mexico trip.
Yes. And thank you, Tommie, for giving me this opportunity to come on your podcast.
Definitely. All right, girl. Well, I'll talk to you soon, and you have a great Monday. Actually, Margarita Monday.
That's right.
All right, Maggie. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you, Tommie. You too.
Bye-bye.